Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Donald coming to you from Asao, Japan. Been talking about this podcast thing for a while. Everybody's seen a mic coming into my shop, asking me what the mic here for. I'm definitely not coming out with a mixtape or a CD or whatever, and all that stuff. So, again, I been working a lot. Just New Year, haven't really been putting out a lot of content because just been really busy. Pull this mic to me a little bit. Just been really busy getting everything set up and everything for the New Year's, getting taxes and all that stuff taken care of. And I had the mic here for a little bit, and I want to go ahead and get this started. So, like anything in life, you just got to get started. Once you get started, everything will roll. Nothing's going to be perfect. As you can see right now, the acoustics are always going to suck in here because I'm not going to soundproof my shop. It's just a shop. And all my podcasts going to be happening pretty much from here. I might do some mobile stuff in the future, but for right now, everything is going to happen in this shop. As far as the how it's going to go, this right here is just a live test, not a live test, but a recorded test to see how the levels are and things, and change things up a little bit. I'm definitely going to get a new camera. The camera I'm shooting with is a camera you guys have seen me use. I've been using this little Sony camera, 1080p, since like 2000, I don't know, 2011 or 2010. It's definitely time to upgrade. Got to get something new. Get a more wide angle and capture thing. I was using GoPro, but it's not really good for capturing. Recording is his thing. But anyway, again, the podcast really, pretty much, it's a performance shop. So, of course, I'm talking about motorsports, what's the deal, and stuff like that. But, I mean, we could talk about more things in motorsports. I will be bringing on guests at times. I'm not going to be guests all the time. And I'll have some local guys that I talk to, jive with, and stuff like that on to get their, opinions on things and stuff like that. But I can talk about more things, only motorsports, but martial arts, music, what's happening, and all what it comes down to is just your opinion on things, what my opinion is, and a lot of people are like, to get this mic. It's like I say, everything is still new here, so I'm gonna do something with this mic. I don't really like how it's set up, but everybody has an opinion out there, and I know a lot of you guys like, oh shit, another podcast or whatever. But hey, man, everybody got an opinion, got a different style of things. All you can do in most stuff is like not be biased towards one thing. For example, Subaru guys, or whatever, Subaru EJ20 or whatever is the best in the world, and nothing else is better. Or Honda guys, B15 or whatever, B18, K20 is the best. It can go on and go on and go on. I just like dabbling in everything, and I use a lot of different things. So as you guys can see in my shops, when I put out what I own a lot of different cars, not just one make and model. That's boring to me. Not putting down if you just like one make and model and your brain can't contain more than what an RB does or what a 2J does, then that's on you. My brain is a little bit different. Everybody works a little bit different. But again, the podcast, this Pinku style podcast, no crazy name. And there won't be any set times because my time schedule is crazy. So a lot of times I'll probably be coming at you guys 3-4 in the morning before I get started. So right now it's about looking at my clock. It's like roughly almost 9 o'clock tonight here in Japan. So we'll be doing some live ones here and there, entertain some questions while I do that. But if it starts to get too big, I won't do that because I can't answer everybody. Then you got guys getting mad about that stuff and everything. So again, it'll be a little bit. It'll mature as time goes. Definitely going to be this, but this is going to be the set. Again, coming from the shop, I don't have time to do it. When I go home, I do home stuff, so I'm not really doing any business stuff or whatever stuff like that. So I will use this time to promote or talk about new parts, new ventures that I can talk about without getting too in depth into, without giving out too much information. Because again, that's the thing too with business. You have to put out information out there, but you can't tell all the secrets. You tell all the secrets, people are going to take your ideas, run with it, and maybe they got a bigger bank account, like I told guys before, and they can get it done. My ideas are vast. The thing is, I have to stay disciplined and not get into the situation where I want to just play. It's easy to do that. But a lot of times, a lot of you guys know I haven't drifted or drifted in competition pro-wise since 2015 because I'm just doing the shop and everything. So again, you have to sacrifice a lot, friendships and events and stuff like that to get to where you want to get in the business thing. This is my third year in. And it's definitely it's getting better and better, but it's still a little bit more to go as far as getting things settled and getting the name out there, and honestly just not folding to the pressure of people wanting to undercut you and down your services and things like that. So a lot of people out there, they'll I'm not got a lot of acquaintance and everything, but I'm really cautious about who I deal with. And there's a lot of guys out there who think they got the best interest, for you in life and whatever you do, but they really don't. They're just waiting for you to fall so they can talk about you behind your back and stuff like that. Not to get all drama and controversial, but that's how it is. So again, I keep, a lot of people like, hey, man, can I work here or come here, hang out? It's not, my shop's not a hangout shop. I don't do stuff like that. I'm about business and getting stuff done. Later on, when everything's in the green and I got, the bank account's looking good, I can relax and maybe I will have some open shop days and people can come through it. But right now, I got a lot of stuff to do, so that can't happen. So that's just the nature of the beast right there. I've been posting up a lot about stuff like that recently about, guys wanting stuff for cheap. Like, if you can get the better price somewhere else, go get it. You know what I mean? I'm not down on my services. I know what I do when I'm working in here on your cars. And a lot of you guys out there gotta realize these are old ass cars, man. You fix one thing or modify one thing, other stuff is gonna break too. So I mean, you got to make sure that you're in it for the long haul, and you're not just gonna, have issues and want to come back to the mechanics. And it's a little bit different now that I am a shop. Before guys talk shit about mechanics, I didn't really care because I didn't work in shops. But now, I'm not a mechanic, nothing against it, but more of a specialist, specializing in different things, not just swapping parts. Part swappers are a different breed of people. Nothing wrong with what they do, and nothing wrong with what you guys are there to do who swap parts, but it's a different analytical approach to seeing what happened to the car before you swap the parts and everything. There's a different style, and before you check the parts, you check the voltage, check the resistance, and then you say, all right, the part is dead, let's move on or get a better part. So that's the difference here at my shop. A little bit more specialist approach to it and things like that. So, not catering to one make and model, just performance based. I don't work on normal cars. Sorry for you guys who got normal cars, but there's enough shops around here that can turn riches on normal cars. I don't like normal cars because normal people don't care about the car. They just want to go A and B, and they're not they're not going to spend the money. And yeah, definitely want to make money. That's the reason I opened this shop. Make money, do what I got to do, but not screw anybody over in the process. Again, you're going to pay for the services, but you're going to get the service as well. And, everything, all the people who come here at my counter, stand pretty much where the camera is sitting right now. I tell them straight up. And that's the thing that's never going to change about me is just always been straight up and, just telling it how it is. People not going to like it. Screw them, move on. That's one thing I tell guys too, and maybe it'll throw people off and maybe some people unfollow, whatever. But my business is you're on my time. When you come to my shop, I didn't come to you. I didn't come to your house and find you and solicit you. You came to my shop, you email me, you call me. So you will operate on my schedule, how I want to work, or you just go somewhere else. I got a set way I want to do things. It's a more militant approach. Whereas guys, I'm open, and some guys take that as, I can do whatever, or come here, or I can work on it side by side. If you go to a major shop or I am a major shop, and I'm getting bigger. But you go to a dealership, nobody's gonna ask your dealership, hey man, can I stand in your bay and watch you work, or can I help you? They're gonna fucking say no. So why would you come to my shop and assume that you're gonna do the same stuff? Show respect. When you have an issue with your iPhone or your Android, you don't fucking call the guys who made your phone and say, hey, man, what's up? You get on the customer service hotline, you email them, you wait for 5 days, they get back to you from Pakistan, and then you buy a new phone, and you rinse and repeat, and you keep doing that. So, again, put that same respect you give to a major, big-ass Tyco company. I'm the same way. Again, I don't have all the flashy lights yet, but I am a business, and you're going to treat me that way or you go somewhere else. Again, your personal problems and personal dealings has nothing to do with me. I got my own personal problems and personal dealings. I don't put those on you. You know what I mean? So don't come to my shop and do that stuff like that. And that's just talking to whoever I deal with here, whoever don't know me and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's one thing you're going to know. I'm a fair guy. I'm not, I don't look for confrontations, but if one comes my way, I'm not going to shy away. And you're definitely going to know where you stand when you talk to me. Not being a tough guy or a badass, but it's just standing your ground. And I come from a place where you don't stand your ground, you'll get washed up and you get taken out. You know what I mean? So Baltimore City, you know what I mean? You gotta be tough coming from those streets, and everybody's from different places, so everybody's gonna be a little bit different, tactful in different ways. I don't have time for bullshit. I've been to Iraq combat 3 years in a row. Been in many situations where I could have died many times, and I've been on many situations where I've just been sitting in a place waiting for EOD to come. And I vowed, looking out into the blackness, looking for insurgents not to come try to take us out of the trucks, and hopefully our combat locks work or the gun trucks can respond to a threat or whatever. But sitting on the side of the road, 6 hours waiting for EOD to blow up IED that I found or me and my guys found. I just vowed. I just think about back in the States. My guys are my guys are there eating pizza or watching the latest movie and stuff like that, and I'm here in the middle of Iraq, close to Turkey, like waiting for EOD to blow up IED. And I just vowed when I got back from Iraq, I would never waste time. And you guys know I don't like wasting time. So again, when you work with me, and again, this goes out to anybody who emails me for parts or whatever. I'm not trying to be a dick on purpose, but again, I don't like wasting time, and I never put myself when I communicate with you guys. I communicate straight up. I know I'm not BS nobody. I put it all out there. You take it or leave it. So those games people play where they're trying to get over and shit like that, that's why the email. That's why I say email me, because Facebook people can block you and the shit, the conversation, erases or whatever. Email, that's on my server. I can save it and back it up every week, so I can go back and see where there was a miscommunication. I'll go back and read and see if I didn't say something, which I know I did all the time. Again, not a perfect guy, but I watch other people fail, and from that people failing and how they communicate, I just know what not to do and what you have to do. So again, just keeping that track record perfect. Again, been open 3 years, and I haven't given anybody any money back. If the service or whatever, something went wrong, some of you can attest. I didn't take the money because either it was something on a host part or whatever. But I mean, again, I'll redo things where again I wasn't clear on that. So because I didn't say that, I'm not gonna hold the customer at fault. I just make a revision the next time. Pretty much saying, you guys know when you buy these parts say off-road use only and stuff like that. There's a reason it says that. These parts, while they're close, identical to OEM parts, they're not OEM-specific parts. Most of these parts are not approved by OEM companies. A few are, and a few are not. You guys know who those are. But these parts are aftermarket parts. They're not meant to be comfort items. They're meant for off-road use, racing. If you're putting racing parts in your car and driving around normal, the shit's going to creak, the shit's going to squeak. It's not soft rubber bushings, man. So you guys got to understand when you're modifying these cars, when you modify the car, this shit ain't normal no more. Unless most modifications that you do that are normal, they're not going to be the greatest modifications anyway. I mean, they're just like you just want to do something, maybe an air intake or whatever. It's not doing that much anyway. So you know what I mean? When you get into, solid aluminum mounts or, welding stuff up, bracing stuff, full welding roll cage, stuff like that, it's going to change the dynamics of the car, and everything else around that is going to have to come up as well, because you are essentially making the car stiffer. All the other rubber components are going to absorb that energy, and it's not going to be put to the ground. So it's just different things like that, And I mean, right now, this is just an intro, just a live, I keep saying live, but just a recorded test. And just pretty much things I'll hit on. Probably not taking like customer situations and then making a podcast about it. But if I'm not having a guest or anything, like I'm pretty much just gonna talk about whatever I want to talk about. And right now it's just the intro. Again, some of you guys don't know me. You might see podcasts and then click on it. I watch a lot of podcasts myself, of course, like Joe Rogan and all those guys. And I'm not gonna name all those guys because I mean they don't know me, so they're not gonna name me. So a lot of podcasts out there, good content. And I used to listen to a lot of music in the shop, but I just stream a lot of stuff now, a lot of podcasts, because a lot of the stuff is funny, hilarious, and also a lot of the stuff is informative. I learned a lot of stuff just by listening to some of the guests that Joe Rogan had on this podcast and things like that. So as far as the setup, speaking of podcasts, like I say, far other than the camera and the mic I got off of online somewhere. The capture device I'm using right now, running the camera to, is actually my HD PVR, my gaming device that I paid like $200 for. Haven't really been using it, and I was like, let me pull this back out, and it works pretty good. I mean, I spent the money for it, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. So again, the audio stuff I'll get a little bit better. Maybe I'll get a more high quality mic. I spent about maybe $180 for this mic setup here, and it's pretty decent. But we'll see how it goes for the levels when I edit the stuff and how much I got to edit and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll pretty much be it. The biggest thing I'll be doing is I'll be co podcasting with my buddy David Adams, Drift Taxi. You guys, a lot of guys know him. He's been around for a while. We met off of Club 240 way back in the day. And that was one form relationship that has matured over. Man, it's been almost 15 years we've known each other, or actually close to 20 years probably. We met from off the forums and we hooked up and like we just instantly clicked and did a lot of stuff together and things like that. So I'll be doing some stuff with him, a little bit of XSplit stuff, and we'll have like the little picture in picture, pretty much doing the Skype and everything like that. So again, a lot of stuff to come. Not going to paint myself into a corner where some guys like I'm only a drift podcast or grip podcast or whatever. Outside of motorsports, me personally, I'm a pretty dynamic guy. Can speak on a lot of different things. Pretty read up, on various things. Don't really care too much about politics and religion. I feel that's your own personal thing and whatever you believe. I was raised in church, but I ain't been in church since I've been about 18, 19, and that's my own decisions. And, I see things a little bit differently than other people. So I don't really care about, honestly, what you believe in or whatever. That's your thing. We could be friends or whatever. It doesn't matter what you believe in as long as it doesn't affect my life. I won't affect your life, and that's how we going for that. Politics, that's a rabbit hole. I'm not a politics scholar, so I will never pretend to sit here with anybody talk about politics. My thing is, it affects us as a mass, but if you let it affect your daily life, you're not busy enough. Just work hard and work around that and beyond it. I'm not going to even that's pretty much it. So not going to really see too much politics here. Social issues and things like that. Maybe we'll touch on it, my ideas, but again, everybody's situation is different, and I can't take time out of my day to discuss stuff that other people are getting themselves into that has nothing to do with me. A black guy with a mohawk living in northern Japan. Cold as hell right now, actually, but I don't want to have a bunch of gear on right now. But again, this is right now my timer looking at is about 17 minutes in, and kind of running out of stuff to think about. I just again wanted to put this out there that the podcast will be coming. This one won't be numbered because it's not an official one. So once I get I'm gonna do a little bit more stuff here on the cameras. Try to get a better camera before I go, because the GoPro I did like. I set it in the same position that this camera is in, but it had a more wider angle. You could see more of the shop and more of everything in the background. So this one is kind of constricted, and you got to push it further back. But I didn't want the camera to be too far from me where it looks like I'm 8 feet away. So again, I will be running it with David Adams. So we'll see when we're going to get up. We're in different time zones and things like that. So what you guys can do to initially help me get everything started, if you have any questions or things like that or anything, of course, the whole Japan thing, I did the videos before, didn't really get a response on those. And then honestly, you see me stop posting a little bit on YouTube. You guys are seeing the numbers dwindle. You guys know that YouTube is pretty much done making millionaires. And things like that. So, that's what they do. If you're not a super big channel, I think I got about 5,400 subscribers or something like that. If you're not a big channel these days, pretty much, unless you're, Mike, I say Mike Tyson, or somebody already super popular, and then you open the channel up, all your followers are going to, of course, subscribe. So you're going to go up there. But if you're not in that stratosphere yet, most normal channels are not going to go that high because, again, it's just they're limiting. And, again, it's nothing against YouTube, so YouTube don't blacklist my channel because of this. It's just they made a lot of millionaires. They didn't expect it to blow up, and technology changes. So as a company, you got to rearrange stuff, and they have the right to do that. So that crazy girl that went in there and shot stuff up because her channel wasn't getting views, now she's dead. Or whatever happened to her, and now she gets no views, or I guess maybe more views, but she ain't getting paid for it. So I'm not going to go to YouTube headquarters and triangle choke people. That's not what I'm going to do. So it's just a little bit different. I got to approach it a little bit different, and the podcast thing is pretty cool again because it's my options. It's oddly people out there that want to hear my opinions on things again because I'm pretty straight. I'm pretty about what I do. I don't care about what others are doing or building and stuff like that. Only what I do. Yeah, I appreciate other stuff and I take inspiration from a lot of stuff, but I do my own thing, and that's what everybody in this motorsports thing or music thing or whatever. There's a lot of different ways to approach things, or many ways to skin a cat. But I mean, there's a proper way to do certain things, but you can still put your twist on things. But I mean, honestly, there's only one way to install camshafts. I mean, if they're regular camshafts, you do it by the OEM specs. If they're bigger duration, bigger lobe, of course, you got to do it a different way. I'm not giving out little tidbits there, but those who install camshafts know you don't install it the OEM way because, of course, you'll snap them in half. Stuff like that. So, a lot of things when you come to my shop is going to be my theories. Top Secret has a different theory. MCR has a different theory. All these different shops out there. I'm naming the big shops, but there's a lot of shops in Japan that people don't know about, and I'm one of those shops that people starting to know about, but I'm still a little guy. But in respects to how big I am, but in regards to what I can do, honestly, there's no shop out there that's doing anything that I can't do, and you can record this and play it back. There's no shop in Japan doing anything that I cannot do in this shop. So just know that. One thing is, I will not cut corners, and if you cannot afford to get the service done, I will not perform the service because I'm not doing the service half-ass. I'm not going to cut time off the service. I know how long it takes. So if you can't afford to get the service, that'll be the only time I'll turn the service down, because I know, for one, either just talking to the person, you can't afford it, or you're going to fuck it up. And there's a certain thing, certain guys are just young and, you tell them, hey, man, keep the fucking boost down, or don't do this or don't do that, and they go out there and turn the boost up. And then their shit blows up, and then your shop's bad. One thing I do is I record and take pictures of everything. So I know what I did. I know what I set. When we take our test drive, I know what the boost went to, and I know pretty much how, you go back in your tunes, your settings, you can see little things tweaked, and I can take pictures and capture, maybe, 14.0004, whatever, that you didn't change it back to 14.0004. So I can see that you changed stuff in the map and the tune and things like that, and put safeguards in there, and that's the thing about tuning is, I've made a few mistakes, as far as like, like small stuff, like maybe a hose tear or something like that, while you're taking an old hose off, and that hose is critical for the engine to run. I got tons of hose in the shop, and I own up to it, and I'm like, hey, man, this hose ripped. It's old as shit. I replaced it. You should replace the other ones. I haven't made any catastrophic mistakes on my own because, it's little stuff like, maybe a hose clamp came on loose before, that was not catastrophic. When the car, I do a little test drive, but that's it. Your car is insured. I don't have insurance in your car, so I'm not going to drive your car to Hachinohe and back. So we can do a test drive and stuff like that, but that's your car. I don't want to get T-boned in your car. I'm not going to pay for it. So I'm going to do a little test drive. It works, done, and then you can come back. But if I had a guy, a few guys come back, hey, man, this is loose or whatever, fix it up, bam, they're happy, done. Warranty, 6 months, good to go. As long as you didn't touch it, and as long as another shop didn't touch it. So little stuff like that. Again, I'm never trying to get out of paying for anything, but I'm going to always protect myself when you're dealing with my shop, and you're never going to get one over on me. Just not going to happen. And a few guys thought they got stuff over. I don't really deal with them no more. And when I deal with them, they get charged a premium next time, because I'm not a dumb guy, and I'm a straight up guy, and I'm a hardworking dude. I wake up every day and work hard. So you're not going to come and screw and take over what's mine, what I work for. So that's not going to happen. And again, what you got going on in your situation, your family, whatever, that's your situation. Again, not my situation. A lot of things coming on right now with just car shipping stuff. For the guys who want to get cars shipped and everything, I've already talked to you guys and some customers international. The thing, what I do is I prepare. If a car is physically here in my shop, I prepare the car. I get everything done to all the specifications. It needs to be at the port to go out. Once it goes to the port, it's just like when you go to USPS or UPS and you drop that box off to the shipper. Once you hand it off to them, that's a handoff, and my part's done. My job is done. I'll intermediate when I got to get in there, but my job is done. Once the car gets on a vessel, that's over to the exporter. And what the exporter does for you guys, again, I speak a little bit Japanese, so I get in there and work it out a little bit to bridge the gap a little bit. I help bridge the gap, but again, I don't have your car on my back, and I'm not going across the water, Pacific Ocean or whatever, delivering your car. That's the vessel. Once it hands off to them, that goes to them. And then if the vessel breaks down or whatever, that I've already told you guys or whatever. Just for the guys who are not aware how this works, when I process the car, take it to the exporter and hand that off. My job is done. You paid my fee, and the other fee is paid to the actual exporter. That's paid to the vessel and paid to whatever fees they got to pay, and they take care of that. So your insurance is paid and things like that. So if something transpires, the exporter is not gonna call me to call a customer. They're gonna contact the vessel and stuff like that. I'll alert the customer, but that's not really my thing. So those who are interested in getting cars shipped, you got to understand that when I do my job and get it to the port and a car is sailed off, my job is done. My job is done. That part is on the next person to hand off. When you go to McDonald's and you order your shit, when they cook it and, take it out or whatever, and hand it over to the guy and the fries or whatever. I never worked at McDonald's before, but everybody has a job there, and everybody's job is not the same thing. Cashiers, and maybe they'll get your drink or whatever, but the person at the window is working the window or whatever. How that works, they work the cashier too. But everybody has a different job and it's a different handoff. And even in your own life, you're responsible for a certain thing, and then the next guy is responsible for a certain thing. So if you have issues with the car shipping, I'll help you out. But again, you got to understand this. That's for all the guys looking to get stuff shipped out. I'll explain that at the desk more in detail because you don't need to know that on the podcast. But that's just kind of some of the things I'm dealing with this week. And that's pretty much what I'll get into. Again, not spewing drama, or it's kind of a venting thing. I don't talk to many people, honestly, throughout the day because it's just me. It's only, and that's what you guys saying. And that kind of segueing. You guys like, hey man, I get a lot of emails. Hey, you guys, or it's only me, one person. I have an assistant, but he's military, and he has his objectives and things like that. I don't pay him, so if I'm paying him and he's like a staff member here, then yeah, it's going to be all guys. But he's a military guy. He knows where he stands at, and I'm talking about Quan Taylor. I'll probably have more here sometime for the podcast. But again, I'm just letting that know there's no guys in my organization. There's one guy here doing all this stuff, the emails, the posting online. There's one guy doing all this stuff. That's me. That's the one guy doing everything that you see come out of Pinku style. One dude. So I do that because honestly, I'm at this point right now. Honestly, just to be bluntly honest, I can't afford to. Maybe I can afford it for 3 months, 4 months, and everything. But I go down the line or whatever, I have a shortage, and I gotta worry about paying somebody else's bills. And you gotta know yourself. I'd rather work hard or come in at 4:00 in the morning and do pre-work, and then I open at 9:45 or whatever, which those hours are always subject to change. I'd rather come in and work hard by myself rather than have string somebody along that I can't pay and screw up their life. So when it'll get to a point where the money is good enough where I can afford to have an employee. Again, Quan, not taking anything away from it. Again, he's an assistant, not a staff. So he does help me out here and there. He ships some of you guys package out and stuff like that. But again, is this a difference? If you have employees, you don't lie and say you got 5 employees when you got 5 little helpers or whatever. They're not employees. You're not paying them. So don't pretend like you're balling with employees when you don't have any employees. Just me. I get a little bit of help from my wife, who's Japanese. But that's pretty much how that works. So again, looking at the thing right here, it's almost 30 minutes going in. It's supposed to be a test. So again, this is pretty much what it's going to be. I'll probably do a live one maybe next week or something like that, depending on the timing. Time zone wise, unfortunately, guys, I'm going to be coming out of here. Maybe if there's, right now I can tell right now I don't have much downtime. So right now I've been in the shop since again about 4 a.m. this morning, and it's about 9 o'clock now. I've done like 2 cars, prep for shipping and everything. So right now I'm just sitting in a freezing shop, and I just wanted to get this out there to let people know it's coming. So again, as just like my videos, thank you guys for tuning in. Any questions or inquiries for business and stuff like that, just go ahead and shoot those to Donald@pinkustyle.com, and we'll get that done. And all the contact information is down below in the description there. So it's just too easy. So again, thank you guys for taking your time. I rambled a little bit, been all over the place and everything, but again, this is going to be a normal thing coming up. I'll be doing these more than videos because again, I can't take out the time out of my day to make videos, edit them, and then I only get 200 views. That's just not cool. Podcasts, I don't care. I'm here in the shop. I'm just talking on the mic, or I got a guest, and whatever views that transpire from that transpires. So as you can see, it's a little bit different approach to things. a little bit raw. I don't have any producers here. I'm not gonna do any switch screens, or I'm not gonna have Jamie bring stuff up for me because I don't have Jamie here. And I'm not gonna bring anything up either. So you got enough stuff from your tablet and your iPhone and stuff like that. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. It's gonna be Dono signing off for Pinku Style, cold as hell right now. So I'll see you guys later on the next podcast.